It's 2 a.m. You're asleep, but your dog isn't. Right now, while you're completely unaware of everything around you, your dog is awake, watching, listening, reacting. And what he's doing in those moments is not random. In fact, it might completely change how you see your dog. And every single night, this is what's been happening. You wake up and realize you have barely any space left on your bed. Your dog is pressed against your legs. Again. You shift. He stretches. You move. He somehow moves closer. Not random. Not accidental. Most people think they understand this. Maybe he's cold. Maybe it's a habit. Maybe he's just a little too attached. But here's what most people never realize. What your dog is doing right now might be one of the clearest signs of how he sees you. And most people completely miss it. Let's start with the obvious. Warmth. It sounds right. Dogs look for heat. You're warm. Simple. But something doesn't add up. Your dog has options. The sofa, that sunny spot on the floor, that exact place he chooses every afternoon without fail. If warmth was the goal, he wouldn't need you. So why you? To understand that, you have to understand something most people never think about. Sleep. Sleep is the most vulnerable state any animal can enter. No awareness, no defense, no escape. In the wild, this is when animals get attacked, which is why every instinct in your dog's brain pushes them toward hidden, protected spaces when they rest. And yet, every night, your dog ignores all of that. Every corner, every safe spot, and walks toward you, a human, much larger, unpredictable, always moving. That's not just comfort. That's your dog choosing you over everything his instincts are telling him to do. And this is where it gets interesting, because science actually confirms this. Researchers actually tested this at Utrecht University. What they found surprised even them. Dogs didn't just show attachment, they mirrored it. They seek closeness, they become distressed when you leave, and they calm down the moment you return. In fact, over 60% of dogs fall into what psychologists call secure attachment, almost identical to human toddlers. So when your dog presses against you at night, he's not being clingy. He's doing something much deeper. He's moving closer to the one he trusts most, at the moment he's most vulnerable. But it goes even further than behavior, because this isn't just psychological, it's biological. And this is where things get even more surprising. In 2015, researchers at Asabu University in Japan measured something extraordinary. When a dog looks at their owner and the owner looks back, both of their brains release oxytocin at the same time. Oxytocin is the same chemical that bonds a parent to a child. It creates trust, connection, attachment. But here's what makes this incredible. This doesn't happen the same way with other animals, not even wolves raised by humans. That loop doesn't activate. This connection evolved specifically between dogs and us over thousands of years. And physical contact makes it even stronger. Studies show that just 10 minutes of petting your dog can measurably reduce stress hormones in both of you. Now, think about that. Not minutes, hours. An entire night with your dog resting beside you, breathing with you, touching you, staying close. This isn't random behavior. This is a biological feedback loop. Calm creates bonding. Bonding creates closeness. Closeness reinforces calm. And this didn't start recently. It started over 15,000 years ago. Long before cities, before farming, before written history. Early dogs and early humans shared the same space and the same nights. Wolves once approached human camps, drawn by food, warmth, and fire. The ones that stayed, the ones that didn't run, survived. And over generations, they changed. They became something new. Not wolves, dogs. Archaeologists have discovered burial sites dating back over 14,000 years, where humans and dogs were laid to rest together, side by side. But here's the part most people miss. Some of those dogs showed signs of surviving serious illness, which means someone, thousands of years ago, cared for them, protected them, stayed with them. Even then, they weren't just animals. They were family, sleeping beside the same fire, under the same night. And over time, dogs didn't just adapt to our world, they adapted to us. Genetic studies show that dogs developed traits specifically for human interaction. A drive to seek eye contact, to stay close, to bond. So when your dog climbs into bed, he's not doing something new. He's continuing something ancient, something built into him over thousands of years. But here's the strange part. This shouldn't even be good for your sleep. They move, they stretch, they wake you up. And multiple sleep studies have confirmed this. People who sleep with dogs experience more interruptions, more movement, more disturbances. Objectively, worse sleep. And yet, almost all of them report the same thing. They feel safer, more relaxed, even rested. How is that possible? Because your brain doesn't just measure sleep by stillness. It measures safety. For most of human history, we didn't sleep alone. We slept in groups, near others, near warmth, near protection. So when your dog is beside you, breathing, present, your brain interprets that as safe, even if your sleep is technically disrupted. This is the part that changes everything. A 2024 study found that dogs and their owners can actually synchronize on a physiological level. Heart rate, stress response, nervous system activity. When you relax, your dog relaxes. When you're stressed, they shift too. And this synchronization becomes strongest during rest. Which means when your dog sleeps next to you, this isn't just emotional, it's neurological. Two completely different species regulating each other through the night. Now, here's something important. If your dog has been sleeping next to you for months, for years, and suddenly stops, don't ignore it, because this might be the only warning you get. Dogs rely on routine, so when a deeply ingrained behavior changes, there's always a reason. Sometimes it's environmental, a new person, a new pet, a change in your schedule. But sometimes it's physical, subtle pain, discomfort, early signs of aging. Changes in sleep behavior can appear before anything else. Before limping, before stiffness, before visible symptoms. Your dog won't explain what's wrong.
He shows you through behavior. This is what most people never realize. Your dog doesn't choose you out of convenience. He chooses you out of certainty. Out of every place in your home, every soft surface, every quiet corner, every warm spot, he walks past all of it and comes to you. Because to him, you are what safety feels like. Built through evolution, reinforced through chemistry, strengthened through every moment you shared. So tonight, when you're asleep and your dog is lying right beside you, just remember, he might not be sleeping at all.
That's not random. That's not habit. That's not even comfort. That's trust. At its deepest level. Out of everything in his world, your dog chose you as the safest place he knows. And maybe, without even realizing it, he's become one of yours too. If this changed how you see your dog, tell me, where does your dog sleep tonight? And if you've ever wondered why your dog looks at you the way they do, that might be even more fascinating. We'll talk about that next.